Hello, hello, and welcome to another coffee break. This month, we are going to be talking about 5 things you should know about changes that are happening to your 401k in 2025. I cannot believe we are towards the end of the year and talking about this, but we are. So, what do you need to know about your 401k that might be changing in a positive or negative way? Most of these are positive. I'm gonna put that out there. And what do you need to know so you can go into your portal and make the changes to get you back to financial future as quickly as possible? Okay, not back to financial freedom as quickly as possible. Okay. So, what is Coffee Break? Just for those of you who are new, welcome. We're happy to have you. This is made for 401k participants. So, anybody who's eligible or putting money into a 401k, this is for you. Obviously, if you don't have a 401k or you're thinking about maybe you're a small business owner and want to have your own 401k, obviously you are welcome as well. Anybody is welcome to watch, but this is what this is directed towards. This is, a quick peek into strategies to get you to your, healthy financial future or financial freedom. 15 minutes or shorter is how we go. It's the whole idea is that you are supposed to have your cup of joe and be able to watch this and then get back to work. And we're just going to cover the highlights. So if you have specific questions on your personal circumstances, then at the end of the presentation, there will be a QR code and you can, set up an appointment through that. Or if you're old fashioned, want to go to our website, it is www.onevisionretire.com. And there's a link there to set up an appointment as well. And plus, you can get to know us a little bit better. All right. And who is us? Christopher Whalen is my business partner, and I'm Lisa Sakai. We straddle both sides of the aisle when it comes to people who are dealing with 401ks. He helps the business owners put them in place, keep them in compliance, all that stuff. He works with their third-party administrator, all that good stuff. I do the personal planning for the employees and for some of the owners as well, but mostly for the employees. And we just help you make sure that you're making the right choices for you and your goals. All right, so let's get started. The first one might not affect too many of you right now, but if you are changing jobs in the future, it is probably good to know. So many of you might not think of this as a change, but it technically is. So a lot of companies have chosen this automatic enrollment option, which means that you are automatically enrolled into the 401k once you become eligible for the 401k at work. And what that means is automatically they're going to start pulling contributions from your payroll into the portal, into basically your 401k account. And some people are really happy with that. Great, I don't have to think about it. And some people are not so happy because they don't want to contribute to them. So sometimes HR did not like that option because it created a lot more work for them to have to keep turning off, people's enrollment if they didn't want to do it because people weren't aware. They weren't reading paperwork or whatever. We're all busy. And so essentially, they would choose not to have this automatic enrollment. Well, that's not a choice anymore. Companies have to automatically enroll you. So if you do not want to be part of their 401k, you need to let HR know. That's not an if and or but. This is what's going to happen, and they can turn it off for you. And obviously, if you are automatically enrolled and you're happy about it, fantastic. Make sure you go in your portal and that everything's working the way you want. Same right percentage is going in, it's going into the right investments that you want, and check on it and make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing for you. And don't just, not think about it. That's not a good strategy for financial freedom at all, right? Don't think about it as not a strategy. Okay. Change number 2 is for part-time employees. So there are a lot of people that have part-time jobs outside of their full-time jobs, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, in the past, 2024 and earlier, a part-time employee that could be eligible for the 401k was somebody who had 1,000 hours per year or 500 hours per year for 3 consecutive years. Now, they have shortened that. So it's 1,000 hours per year, automatically eligible for the 401k based off the guidelines of time, et cetera, that you've been working at the company. But now it's 500 hours per year for 2 years in a row. So they've shortened the time period. So if you are part-time and have worked for the company for 2 years, check with HR. You might be eligible for the 401k. Now, I do want to put just a little warning in here because people say, well, I've got 2 part-time jobs, or I've got my full-time job and my part-time job, and they're both offering me a 401k, which is wonderful. However, you really don't get more benefit other than you might have different options to invest in at the 2 different companies, but you're still limited to the maximum that you can contribute. So if you can contribute, you can contribute the maximum combined. Maximum's 23,000 this year. So that's the max that you can put into both of them combined. You can't do 23 and 23 as much as we'd love to do that, right? So just keep that in mind if you are part-time and have a couple different jobs that both offer the 401k. All right, catch up. You're going to see me looking at my notes because there's some numbers here and I don't remember stuff off the top of my head and I want to be accurate. So catch up increases. So right now, currently, you are able to put in $23,000 maximum into your 401k, just like we talked about. If you are over the age of 50, and we have a whole video on catch-ups, so feel free to look through the YouTube channel and find that video to learn more about this in more detail. But at age 50, you have a catch-up, meaning that the government allows you to put more money away to catch up for retirement because they figure 50, you're getting closer to retirement, right? So right now you can put in $7,500 more on top of the 23, okay, that you can put into the account. Now, they've added a new catch-up. So you're still able to do 7,500 after, and it will probably change in 2025, but right now you're still able to do 7,500 on top of your 23,000 or your base maximum if you're over 50. But if you are between the ages of 60 and 63, yes, 63, in 2025, you are going to be able to actually contribute more. You'll be able to contribute $11,250 on top of your regular maximum contribution. So that adds quite a bit more on top of the 7,500, right? So it's 23,000 plus $11,250. Not you're taking out the 7,500 from this scenario. But it allows you to put more money on. And this is going to go up every year. So for years to come, it's going to be the greater of either $10,000, which is already greater than that, right? Or 50% more than the regular catch-up number. But it's only between those ages, 60 to 63. It will be interesting to see if they expand that later on. But right now, that's your catch-up period. That you're able to do that maximum amount for a little bit longer, which I think is kind of exciting. So, all right. So, increase in the annual contribution limit. So, basically, this tends to happen every year. It's not guaranteed that they increase how much you can put into your 401k, but most years they do. So right now, as you've heard me say a couple times, for 2024, the maximum you can put in is 23,000. In 2025, you will be able to put in 500 smackers more, 23,500. That might not seem like a lot, but it's still more than what you were able to put in last year. So let's be grateful for that, right? Okay. And it's gone up. I mean, when I started, I think it was like 18,000 or something. So it's gone up substantially, that what you can put in. But one side note I want to remind people. So I don't know, every portal is different, right? For every 401k company, they're set up differently. Sometimes you're able just to click, contribute the maximum, and it should auto detect that, and you should be at 23,500 for 2025. No problem. Double check that though. I always tell you, double check. But anyhow, it should be fine. However, some of you have to put in an actual amount, and we have to do the math and divide by 12 and all this stuff, like all this stuff. Divide by 12, divide by 24 or 25, depending on how many payrolls you have, that kind of stuff. And so it gets a little complicated. I would say that you would want to go in there and change that if you still want to max out. And if you haven't done that for a while, you've probably not been contributing the max that you can. So make sure you go in your portal and change that if you do want to contribute the max. And remember, it can be a combination of traditional and Roth. If you have a Roth 401k, you can do all Roth, you can do all traditional. Remember, you have all those options as well. And this is why we do this show, because it's complicated, right? Your head's probably spinning a little bit right now, but it's all good. If you need help, like I said, reach out. We're happy to help you figure that stuff out. Okay, so this one is one I've been waiting for. And I don't know how long this site has been active, but I know as part of Secure Act 2.0, they have made this available. And I was just looking at it yesterday. I'm not sure how robust it is yet, but the question I get all the time is, I had an old 401k at a company so long ago. Is there a resource or someplace I can go research it and try to find it? Because I don't know who to contact at the company. The company's information has changed. It's been bought out, blah, blah, blah. And I used to have to say, no, there's no resource. There's no database on any of that stuff. There is now. They actually have one. So by the end of 2024, they had to have this searchable databases for retirement plans, specifically, I believe, for 401ks, but it might include pension plans as well. And that is part of the Secure Act 2.0 that was passed a couple years ago. And they did this because $1.3 trillion are forgotten in old retirement assets. That is a ton of money that we are leaving behind, and the government wants us to get our money. Also, I hate to say it, but they don't get to charge taxes for you on that money if you don't know it exists. So that's part of their plan too, you know. We all love paying taxes. So so anyhow, there is going to be a search engine. It is actually up and currently working from what I can tell while I was putting this together yesterday. So the U.S. Department of Labor website, you go there, you would just search in the search bar abandoned plans, and it popped right up. And then you do need to know the name of the company and all this stuff, but there's a lot of resources there for you. So I'm very excited about this one. I think it will be very helpful for people and at least give you a starting point. Is it gonna solve all problems? No. But I think it will at least give us a starting point sometimes when we're trying to find old plans. So that's it. So remember, I didn't change this, but remember essentially to make those changes that you need. This was for my income slide, and obviously I made a mistake, but that's okay. You can review those because this is important for income, for retirement too. But just keep in mind that we need to, keep on top of our 401ks, keep on top of the changes that are happening, and make sure you log into your portal at least once a quarter so that we have an accurate idea of what's happening for you. And last but not least, feel free to contact us in any way. You can email us, you can go to our website, you can see what I'm doing on LinkedIn, and use this QR code, open up the Camry app, scan it, and set up an appointment to have a non-obligation call. And with that, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that these updates are exciting for you. They're exciting for me, but I'm a nerd when it comes to this stuff. So until next time, we will see you soon. Bye-bye.